Welcome to On the Agenda, the show that lets you know all about the actions your city leaders are making. At their Monday, May 4th meeting, City Council members proclaimed May as Older Americans Month, heard a presentation of the quarterly investment report, and approved an ordinance on the first of two readings that will increase police department salaries. Here's a full rundown of Council's actions from their meeting. Council proclaimed the month of May 2015 as Older Americans Month in Missouri City. Manuela Arroyos, Chief Executive Officer for Fort Bend Seniors, accepted the proclamation.
I especially want to thank y'all for allowing Russell to be on our board of directors. He's been an excellent board member and has been trying to help us just with our strategic plan. And Mayor Owens, who sits on our capital campaign committee, he's doing a great job in helping us bring that to success. We're actually doing a $3 million campaign, and we've raised $2 million. We're now trying to raise the last $1 million, but the most important thing is that we're able to provide meals to more seniors. As I said, we're providing seniors in this community over 200 meals, 200 seniors from Missouri City on our program, and we're able to do that through the community block grant and then support from the community as well, so thank you.
Council proclaimed May 3rd through 9th as Public Service Recognition Week in Missouri City. Representatives from the city's Employment Recognition Committee accepted the proclamation.
Now therefore, I, Alan Owen, Mayor, and on behalf of the City Council and all the citizens of Missouri City, do hereby announce and proclaim to all citizens and set seal hereto that May 3rd through the 9th, 2015 is Public Service Recognition Week. Therefore, I encourage all the citizens to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of government employees at all levels, federal, state, county, and city.
Council proclaimed May 10th through 17th as National Police Week in Missouri City. Police Chief Mike Bearson and members of the city's police department accepted the proclamation.
Now therefore, I, Alan Owen, Mayor, on behalf of the City Council and all the citizens of Missouri City, do hereby call patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 10th through the 16th as National Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all citizens may join in commemorating law enforcement officers past and present who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to our communities, and in so doing have established for themselves an inevitable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and securities of all citizens. I further call upon all the citizens of Missouri City to observe May the 14th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those enforcement officers who through their courageous deeds have made the ultimate sacrifice and service to our community, or have become disabled in the performance of duties, and let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors or our fallen heroes. So, Chief, and we will have that ceremony at the police headquarters on Thursday the 14th, and I encourage any of you to come. And as I have said before, and I will say again, knock on wood, we're very fortunate in this city that we have not lost a single police officer in the line of duty since since the city was incorporated, and I hope it remains that way, because you're hearing it every day, unfortunately, on TV. They lost another officer in New York today. Lost the police chief in Corpus Christi, although he was not killed in the line of duty. We read about this every day. So, try to make an effort to come that Thursday night on the 7th to show our police officers that you support this.
Council proclaimed May 17th to 23rd as National Public Works Week in Missouri City. Assistant Director of Public Works Sharon Valiant praised her department's unsung heroes and highlighted the many areas covered by Public Works.
National Public Works Week is held every year. It's the third week in May. And the goal is to seek and provide the public awareness of what Public Works does and what the issues are, and to increase the public's awareness about those employees that are dedicated public servants to the Public Works profession. Public Works is always thought of as, streets, drainage, water, that kind of thing, but You know, when you look at what we have here in Missouri City, our Public Works Department is more than that. We have the geographic information systems, we have the facilities maintenance folks, we have the fleet services, and we have animal services, and we have transportation and traffic, and we have capital improvement program, and just a multitude of different things that the Public Works Department provides and does for the community. Just a few things to share with you. There are 20 citywide facilities totaling 293,000 square feet. They range in ages of over 40 years to just about a year old. There are 637 lane miles of roadway that staff maintains, 57 traffic signals, 9,000 plus street signs, 64 miles of roadside ditches, several acres of green space, and drainage channels. There are 469 vehicles and equipment in our fleet, and we have 3 fuel islands. We have 4 mechanics. The mechanic ratio is 156 pieces of equipment to 1. The industry standard is average of 82 to 1. We have an average of, in our animal control facility, we have an average of 90 impounds a month. We have 3 officers. We do have a volunteer program, though, and we log about 100 hours a month, which is really great. Our average adoption rate's about 30 dogs a month, and I already talked about the community ratings, the volunteer hours. In our utility operations, we manage the community rating system for the city. We maintain a grade of 7 now, which is pretty good. And we have a groundwater conversion rate of 27.7%. In our CIP program, we have a bunch of projects that are nearing completion. One for sure of note is the Lexington Boulevard extension, which is the Thomas Taylor Parkway now. And we're just now kicking off the Turtle Creek reconstruction project. And we're going to be implementing the bike ped, a new bike ped route. Our traffic signal box artwork project is continuing. We have an interactive flood map that's updated. And there is a great tool on the city's website called My City, which is a great tool for seeking information relating to the services in your neighborhood. Oftentimes, the Public Works employee goes unnoticed, as the mayor said, many times getting asked why, when, how, come, and why not, instead of a great job, thank you. So the theme of National Public Works Week this week is community begins here. Without Public Works, there would be no community per se, nothing to protect by the police department, nothing to address with the fire department. So, as the mayor said, take time, say hi, say thank you, because we don't always get that. But, and again, there would be no community without the quality of the Public Works professionals. The week of May, the Public Works Week, we do several things. There's a golf tournament that we host, and we also host a picnic that's where we honor some star employees for Public Works. And we also just do certain, we reach out to the schools, both elementary and middle school, and we have a coloring book contest and a poster contest. And we recognize those individuals for learning about Public Works and knowing what they are. So thank you for your time, and reach out and say hey, and thank you.
Interim Finance Director Michael Higgins next presented council with the quarterly investment report that ended on March 31st, 2015.
So we're at 1.526, 90-day T-bill, 0.018. According to logic, several factors partly explain the relative weakness in the U.S., such as frigid temperatures and heavy snowstorms in the Northeast and Midwest, and the shutdown of major West Coast ports. However, growth in the second quarter and beyond should accelerate. So we're keeping an eye on the market. We're watching what's coming back, what's maturing, and we're trying to replace it with similar investments, but we're kind of limited.
Council next approved Health Source Medical Response, a non-911 emergency medical service provider, to provide EMS services in Missouri City.
Staff received a request from Health Source Medical Response to operate a non-emergency ambulance service in Missouri City. As we talked last time, Council has a direction under the Health and Safety Code to determine that a new non-emergency EMS provider will not interfere or adversely affect the provision of emergency medical services in the city. The addition will remedy an existing provider shortage. And 3, will not cause an oversupply of licensed emergency medical providers in the city. This company came to us with the request, under the state law, all new companies that wish to start working in the municipality must receive this approval from the governing board of that city or county government. Staff did some research and found that Missouri City has listed as 2 providers that actually are housed in Missouri City. Sugar Land has 8, Stafford has 12, and Conroe has 1, according to the Texas Department of State Health Services. By visiting with Pearland, who actually has a permitting process, they have 19 providers that they have authorized to operate in their community. Staff went out and determined the best way to look at this is what is the average of these cities of similar size, which comes up to an average of 10 providers per city. So staff has prepared a letter for the mayor to sign with council's authorization approving Health Source Medical Response to operate in Missouri City with the understanding that the additional of this provider will not interfere with adversely affect the provision of emergency medical services in Missouri City. Based on the limited information at the city's disposal, the addition of another licensed emergency medical service provider will remedy an existing provider shortage based on that average previously mentioned. And the addition of another licensed emergency medical provider will not cause an oversupply in Missouri City. It also goes on to state that if there are any emergency or 911 calls, that they will refer that to the proper 911 center so that Fort Bend EMS and Missouri City Fire and Rescue Services can respond, and that if they're unable to maintain any licensing requirements by the Texas Department of State Health Services for a period of more than 5 days, that this approval is revoked.
Council next executed a contract with the Playwell Group to install shade structures for Hunters Glen Park that will be built with funds from the city's Community Development Block Grant Program.
Consider declaring an exemption from competitive bidding requirements and authorizing the execution of a contract for the purpose and installation of the shade structures for Hunters Glen Park through the Bi-Board Cooperative Purchasing Program. And I know if Councilman Smith was here, he'd make that motion. Is there a motion?
And the money coming from the community block grant?
Money's coming from the community block grant.
Yes.
Is there a motion? Is that your motion? Councilman Emery made the motion.
Second.
Is there a second? All right. Is there any discussion? It's a good deal. We're working on it a while. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Council also approved the CDBG Annual Action Plan for Program Year 2015.
Item C is consider approving the program year 2015 Community Development Block Grant, an annual action plan.
Yes.
You want to make a minute?
Good evening. We're here to seek approval for the program year 2015 for the Community Development Block Grant Annual Action Plan. The allocations were presented to you in 2 prior public hearings, and we're just here to seek approval.
Is there a motion?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Councilman White made the motion. Councilman Preston made the second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Council authorized City Attorney Caroline Kelly or her designee to provide certain property owners and their representatives with notice of potential civil actions for the enforcement of city ordinances.
Mayor and Council, state law provides a mechanism by which municipalities can seek remedy from property owners or their representatives for certain property code violations and zoning violations on their property. And as you're aware, the city charter does require city council action to initiate any specific cause of action. What this item does is provide staff the ability, upon a staff determination of a property violation, to go ahead and proceed with the required notice. In addition, conveying to those property owners notice that the city can bring civil action against them at a future date. In the event that the property owners fail to comply with these notices of these civil of these notices, which include the notice of potential civil remedy, and if they fail to comply with that, staff will come back to council for specific authorization to seek remedy against any specific property owner. These actions have been successful in the past when the city has sought these. They also do provide, in addition of securing orders or injunctions to correct the remedies, they do authorize the municipalities to seek civil penalties up to $1,000 a day for these types of violations.
So this would allow us to take a case that's already been to municipal court and nothing was resolved. We can now take it to the next level, which I assume would be district court.
That is correct.
Get that
These
situation
actions can be
resolved.
filed in district court or county court. It's been the practice to file these in district court. That will either be in Fort Bend County or Harris County, depending on the location of the property.
Are you going to have to bring each individual case to council for approval?
For authorization to initiate lawsuit, correct.
Would you start one already on one we're very familiar with?
What this will do is initiate the notice process, and what it does is, of course, convey to the property owner, which they probably are already familiar with through the criminal process, notice of the specific type of violation and the law under which it is filed, but it also tells them that the city may seek civil remedy. So it will expedite this process prior to the city council authorizing action in those cases in which the property owners do not correct the property.
So at the next meeting, will you place that particular one on this
We
agenda?
are working on 3 different properties under which we're seeking city council authorization,
Okay.
and those will be coming up in the next few meetings. That
Very
is
good.
correct.
One question on your background information,
Yes.
and just so nobody would get this and try to interpret something different, you said provide notice to property owners and their representatives. Shouldn't that be and/or?
That is correct if they have a representative, and there may even be a circumstance under a potential lease in which a tenant has certain obligations, but depending on each individual property owner and the individuals associated with it and/or the entities.
I just don't
and
want
their
somebody to try
companies.
to claim both, notice to both, if it's and/or.
Correct.
And rental property would go to the owner of the property.
That is correct.
I think unfortunately, it seems to be the only way we're going to get them some certain properties we were well aware of, that we've been dealing with for years and years, taken care of.
What's our process today?
It very much depends on the type of violation. For the most part, our code violations, including zoning violations, are prosecuted in municipal court. Now, those are criminal cases, which do carry a very high burden, unlike these cases, which are civil, which do carry a burden, but that's by preponderance of the evidence.
Council approved an ordinance on the first of 2 readings that amends Chapter 30, Environment, of the Missouri City Code to change the definition of junked vehicle to be consistent with state law.
In 2013, the legislature did away with the valid inspection certificate being displayed on the windshield. So as of March 1st of this year, 2015, you no longer will receive a inspection sticker to be affixed to your windshield.
But you can't get the license without being inspected.
That is correct. Once you get your vehicle inspected, it's put in a database, and when you try to get your vehicle inspected, they'll check the database to make sure you have a valid inspection certificate. So this ordinance change in the ordinance will merely put us in line with what the legislature has dictated at the state level, and the transportation code was also amended recently, so to put us in line with the transportation code also.
Council approved on the first of 2 readings an ordinance that would increase the salaries of police department personnel to be more consistent with competing local agencies.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Missouri City, Texas, adopting a pay structure and incentive and certification pay plan for certified police personnel, providing an effective date, repealing any and all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for severability.
Mr.
We've
Mayor,
already had a presentation, so is there a motion by the Budget Committee?
the Budget Committee highly recommend that we approve this ordinance, but even though this is for police officers, we do still want to mention, even though it's not a part of the ordinance, that the proposed budget does include an increase for all employees, because we do value all our employees.
And finally, Council approved a resolution that denied CenterPoint Energy's application for approval of a distribution cost recovery factor to increase distribution rates.
They would be checking the lines again to see if, since that last storm, they may have some limbs that are rubbing against the lines to short them out or do some temporary stuff. So I know they're aware of it. I reported 3 specific addresses where people had told me that they were out for just a minute or so, but it's happening more often. So, God, we just need to keep and Sharon, we just need to keep an eye on that and see where it is. So.
It's almost the same time every day.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and most are 10 o'clock in the morning, so they're all about the same time for some reason, and I don't know, but Dominic, they know how to trace this, and so they're going to be working on it, so.
For a full list of Council's decisions, including the consent agenda, click on the Council Connection link at the bottom of the MissouriCityTX.gov homepage. Keep watching Missouri City Television to learn more about Missouri City events and programs.